Good morning, children. In the last class, we were completed the theory of the chapter, the second chapter, biological classification. In this class, we will discuss about the competitive part of the second chapter. That is nothing but the biological classification. Okay. So today, let us start the discussion with respect to the competitive part of the second chapter. So that is nothing but the biological classification. Okay. In that one, first question is, the biological classification of plants and animals was first proposed by. See, while we are discussing about the classification, early system of classification, I told no, Aristotle is considered as the father of the the biological classification in the earlier. Okay, is also known as the father of the taxonomy, and even Aristotle is considered as the father of the biology as well as zoology. He is the first person who classified the plants into herbs, shrubs, and trees, as well as the animals into red-blooded animals, as well as not having the red-blooded animal. Okay, so which is the right answer? Option B is the right answer. Okay, the biological classification of plants and animals was first proposed by Aristotle. Okay. Second question. See, just now as I said, no, the topic which is related to the system of classification, which is given by the Aristotle. Please note down while you are solving the competitive part, each and every question you should write down the particular topic which is related to the logic distractor. So then you can easily identify which is the right answer. Okay. The second question, Aristotle classified the plants into. See, just now I told no, Aristotle is the first person who classified the plants into trees, shrubs, and herbs. You know very well that the trees are nothing but the very longest plants which is having very strongest stem. What about the shrubs? They are the bushy plants, they can spread that is meters together. They are also having a strong flexible stems. But when it comes to the herbs, they are very smallest plants. They are nothing but the herbs with weak stem, isn't it? So this classification is given by Aristotle. That's why option E is the right answer for second question. The next question, the five kingdom classification was done based on certain characteristics. Which of the following forms the chief criteria for the above classification? The first one is cell structure, the second one the body organization, third one is habitat of the organisms, and the fourth one is mode of nutrition and reproduction. The fifth one is the phylogenetic relationship. Which is the correct option among these one? See, almost all the correct, all are included except third one, because so while we are discussing about the five kingdom of system of classification, I told you clearly the five kingdom system of classification was given by Horace Whittaker in 1969, who proposed a five kingdom system of classification. He classified the organisms into five kingdoms, that is nothing but the kingdom Monera, Protista, and even kingdom Mycota, Plantae, and Animalia. But while he is classifying, he considered the criteria. Okay, so cell structure, body organization, the mode of nutrition and reproduction, phylogenetic relationships, but is not mentioned about the habitat of the organism, isn't it? That's why option E is the right option. Okay. The next question, Monera contains none of the following structures except. See, I told you clearly, Monera means nothing but all the prokaryotic organisms are classified under the kingdom Monera. It includes the microorganisms like archaebacteria, eubacteria, and cyanobacteria. But here what they have given, the Monera contains none of the following structure except, because I told you clearly prokaryotic organisms and eukaryotic organisms. On what basis we classified into prokaryotes and eukaryotes? The genetic material, that is nothing but the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, the genetic material is present, isn't it? So that's why see here they are asking Monera contains none of the following structure except except they're asking, okay, except the DNA, okay. So they're also, so that means I told you clearly, so here the structure, okay, it is not well defined, isn't it? So don't think that not contained means, so that means, so whatever the DNA it is present, it is not clearly, okay. So that's what we said, the early nucleus, okay. The next question, the oldest kingdom, okay, oldest kingdom, when it comes to the 5 kingdom of system of classification only, the first one is the Monera, the second one is Protista, third one is the Mycota, fourth one is the Planta, and fifth one is Animalia. So the oldest kingdom is Monera, kingdom Monera, okay. So next one is, of the following organism cell wall is present, okay. So here the characteristics when it comes to the, the comparison between the different, the kingdoms with respect to the examples of the organisms, okay. So what they are given here, of the following cell wall is present, okay. So you know very well that, but let me to once again explain. See, option A, the Chlamydomonas it's containing, but the Paramecium not containing cell wall, isn't it? Amoeba is not containing, again the Chlorella is containing. Euglena is not containing, so again the Chlamydomonas is containing. The Paramecium and Amoeba both they are not containing cell wall. Which is the right option? Option E, the Chlamydomonas and the Chlorella. Okay, the Chlamydomonas is unicellular algae as well as the Chlorella is also a algae. So that the both they are containing the cell wall. Okay, so now which is the right option? Option E is the right option with respect to the right answer. Yeah, so the seventh question is, match the following. So while you are matching like these questions, you should know the organisms, the name of the organism with respect to the exact criteria, okay. So and how can you define? The definitions also can be matched, okay. Let me to tell you once again. See, the first column it is given the name of the organism, the second column it is containing the characteristics of the organism, okay. The first one is a Mycota and the Eubacteria, third one is Halophiles, Thermopseudophils, Methanogens, and here the definitions they have given in the column B, okay. See here, out of this one which is the right answer, you know, the Mycoplasma is an organism that completely lacks a cell wall, and the Eubacteria it is a true bacteria. Eu means true. Then Halophiles, yes, the bacteria living in extreme salty areas are the habitats. Thermopseudophils, yes, the bacteria it is living in hot springs, thermal hot springs. Methanogens, they are nothing but the bacteria living in marshy areas, as well as they releases the methane in the form of the byproduct, okay. So now which is the right option? Option C is the right option among the following given options. Got it? Yeah. The next question, it's easy actually. It is related to the mode of reproduction in case of the bacteria. Bacteria reproduces mainly by fission. Okay, the bacteria reproduces mainly by fission. Okay, of course they also undergo conjugation, but generally the most appropriate answer, bacteria reproduces mainly they are asking, so the fission is the right option. Fission means you know very well that the division, it is nothing but in general we can say it's a mode of reproduction in the form of the cell division, it is known as the fission. Okay. The next question, all single celled eukaryotes are placed under, all single celled eukaryotes are placed under, that is nothing but the protista. So I told you clearly when it comes to the definition of the protista, how can you define the protista? Okay, the question arises, how can you define the protista? It includes all unicellular eukaryotic organism. How that is how the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined, hence they are also called the taxonomic misfits. And you know, this kingdom forms a link with all other kingdoms. Okay, so all single celled eukaryotes are placed under the protista only. Okay. The next question, all the following can be applicable to protozoans except. So here they were given actually the characteristics of the kingdom. Okay, so that is a kingdom Protista. So all the following can be applicable to the protozoans except they are asking. So let me to tell you, see, they are believed to be primitive relatives of the animals. Yes, it is true. It is applicable. They all are heterotrophs and live as predators or parasites. Yes, it is also applicable. It's true. There are 6 major groups of the protozoans. No, false. Because they are containing only, see how many group of the organism? 5 group of the organisms. You know very well that charizophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and finally protozoans. Okay, how many they happen? It's only 5. Okay, but what they have given here, there are 6 major group of protozoans they have given. So that's why option C is the wrong option. Okay, so that is nothing but the wrong, it is not applicable statement with respect to the right option. Okay, so they are single celled, it is applicable. They belongs to the kingdom Protista, it is also applicable. Next question, yeah, the slime molds are the protists. So which type of the protists actually? Even the slime molds, they also comes under the group of the kingdom Protista. Okay, you know very well that. How can you define the slime molds? They are saprophytic protists. Their body move along with the decaying twigs and leaves engulfing their organic material, isn't it? So under suitable condition, they form an aggregation is called plasmodium, which may grow and spread over the several feet. So here they are asking directly the mode of nutrition. Slime molds are saprophytic. Saprophytic means they grow on dead and decaying organic matter. Okay. The next question, in which of the following organisms the body is covered over a protein rich layer called pellicle? So if you see the structure of the euglena, okay, so which is comes under the euglenoids, the majority of them are freshwater forms found in stagnant water, isn't it? And instead of the cell wall, they have a protein rich layer called pellicle. Okay, so they are the photosynthetic due to the presence of the chlorophyll pigment solution. So very best example, euglena. So that which is the right option? Option C is the right option. The next one, red tide is caused by. The red tide is caused by Gynolox. See, while we are discussing about so that is nothing but the dinoflagellates. I told you clearly, the red dinoflagellates undergo rapid multiplication that makes the sea appears look like red. Okay, so that's why they are called red tides, which is comes under the dinoflagellates. The best example, that is nothing but Gynolox. Okay, Gynolox is the example which is comes under the dinoflagellates. Okay. The next question, dash is a photosynthetic in the presence of sunlight. When deprived of the sunlight, it behaves like a heterotroph by predating on the other small organisms. Yes, just now I told euglena. Okay, euglena is the photosynthetic in presence of the sunlight. When there is no sunlight, it will be get converted into heterotrophs. It behaves like a heterotroph. Okay, by predating on the other small organisms. Next question. This is the right direct question. East comes under. Okay, you should identify the classes. Okay, while we are discussing about the classes, I told the kingdom Mycota, it is consisting of 4 classes: Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, and Deuteromycetes. Okay, so yeast is a unicellular fungi. It is comes under the class Ascomycetes. The next question, the cell wall of the fungi are composed of. The composition of the cell wall. Okay, while we are discussing about the general characteristic features as well as the composition of the cell wall, I told you clearly. So the cell wall in case of the fungi is made of chitin, or polysaccharides. Okay, it is comes under the general characteristics of the kingdom Mycota. The next question: all the following statements regarding diatoms are correct except. See here also, whatever they have given the statement, all are correct. But why E? See, all the following statements regarding diatoms are correct. So that means out of the 5 statements, 4 are correct, 1 is wrong. Let me to tell you how it is wrong. The walls of the diatoms are embedded with chitin underline. Okay, and the Q10 again underline. Thus the walls are indestructible. No, see, while we are discussing about the diatoms, it is clearly said that how they are actually not destructible. Okay, see, the diatoms, I told you clearly how they will be. So the formation of the, generally we were discussed in the earlier classes also, the diatomaceous earth and all. Okay, so they are containing, the cell wall is containing the silica actually, not a chitin, isn't it? The cell wall of the diatoms, it is embedded with the silica actually. So and thus walls are generally indestructible. But here what they have given, the chitin and Q10, that's why. So this statement is a false. The remaining 4 statements are correct. Okay, see, above only they have given the cell wall of the diatoms form 2 thin overlapping shells which is fits together as a soap box, because the major composition is a silica. Okay, here only the answer is present. The next question: the presence of stiff cellulose plates on the outer surface of the cell wall is a characteristic features of. So just now I told no. So this is a characteristic features of the dinoflagellates, isn't it? The next question: the primary grouping of protozoans is based on, yes, so the locomotor structure, either the presence or absence of the locomotor structure, the primary grouping of the protozoans which is given. Okay, and you know very well that there are 4 major groups of the protozoans. So based on the locomotor structure, they are classified into 4 types. That is nothing but the 4 major groups. The first one is amoeboid protozoan, the flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and sporozoans. Okay. Next question: the study of the fungi. Yes, you know, while I am telling about the kingdom Mycota, I told no, the study of the fungi is called mycology, because the Mycota is nothing but kingdom Mycota. Study of fungi is known as mycology. Okay. Then the next one: the mycelium in fungi may be separate or, so that is sorry, the septate or aseptate. Which is of the following classes of the mycelium is a septate and cyanocytic? See, I told you clearly. So this question is also, while we are discussing about the general characteristics. Okay, the hypae, some hypae are multinucleated without cross walls, are called cyanocytic hypae, isn't it? And when it comes to generally with particular groups, what we will discuss. Okay, so that is the presence or absence of the, so that is the cross walls with respect to the multinucleus. It will be classified, isn't it? So and when it comes to the phycomycetes, the mycelium is that is A means absence, aseptate and cyanocytic. Okay, so if you are having still doubt, means just go through the earlier classes slides there with the diagram which is given. Okay, so please go through it, then you can understand that exact terminology with respect to the diagrammatic representations. The next one, the Trypanosoma gambiensis is an. See, so this Trypanosoma which is comes under the, while we are discussing, where we were discussed about the Trypanosoma gambiensis, do you remember? Yes, there comes under the flagellated protozoans. Okay, so the members of these groups are either free living or parasitic. They have a flagella. The parasitic forms like Trypanosoma causes the disease called sleeping sickness. Okay, so it is actually obligatory diegenic parasite which causes the sleeping sickness. The next question, a cell wall from an unknown organism is examined under a microscope. It has a membrane bound nucleus. There is a membrane bound nucleus, a large central vacuole, chloroplast, and a cell wall. What type of the cell it is? So first of all, what are the characteristics they have given? It has a membrane bound nucleus, that is a eukaryote. Large central vacuole, that is nothing but the plant cell. Chloroplast is present and the cell wall is also present. So these are all the characteristic features of the plant cell. Okay, so that we can easily identify it is a plant cell. The next question, here it's also they have given them as the following, the 24th question. So the name of the organisms with respect to the characteristics or uses. The rhizophores generally uses in they are found in the bread molds, and the Agaricus sylvaticus. Okay, they are actually poisonous mushrooms. They are not edible. Okay, non-edible. And Agaricus campestris, it is actually, that means edible mushroom. The black crust of the wheat, so that is actually found in the Puccinia. Okay, in the wheat plants, Puccinia graminis. And the Saccharomyces cerevisiae is commonly known as baker's yeast. Now you can match the exact one, which is the right option. Option C is the right option. Okay, the name of the examples of the fungi and with respect to the uses are where it is present. Okay, or we can also say the origin. The next one is fungi store food in the form of, it is clear, the glycogen. Okay, the chitin, it is also nothing but the glycogen. Okay, or polysaccharides. The fungi stores the food in the form of that is a chitin. Chitin is nothing but the glycogen. Okay, so they are also called the polysaccharides, the stored form of the fungi. The next one, the protozoan Trypanosoma gambiensis causes, this is just now I told, that is nothing but the sleeping sickness. It is also known as African sleeping sickness because the most number of the cases it is recorded from the Africa. Okay, earlier also, so that's why they named in the country the African sleeping sickness. The next question, the viruses did not find a place in the Whittaker's five kingdom system of classification. See, while we are discussing about the viruses, viroids, prions, lichens, I told you clearly, because the viruses did not find a place in Whittaker's system of classification, they are not truly living. That means they are not having the cellular structure. They are acellular. Okay, so that's why. So they are not placed under the five kingdom system of classification. Okay, so which is the right option? Option E. They are not truly living because inside the host only they shows the living characteristics. Outside the host they retain or remain in the form of the non-living crystalline structures. The next question, from the above, choose the characters applicable to the members belonging to the kingdom Animalia. So first of all, you should read all the word statements. They are heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms lacking a cell wall. Yes, it is correct. And the second one, they directly or indirectly depends upon plants for their food. It is also correct. Then the third one, they store the food reserves as a glycogen or fat. That is also applicable, correct. And the fourth one, their mode of nutrition is either holozoic or holophytic. No. So they shows the only holozoic mode of nutrition, not a holophytic. Holozoic means engulfing, taking in. Holophytic means directly, okay, absorbing. So it is not applicable. The fourth statement is not applicable. Then the fifth one, they follow a definite growth pattern. Yes. Then the sixth one, both the lower and higher organisms are formed. So the elaborate sensory neuromotor, no. Only in higher organisms they show very well developed neuromotor sensory mechanisms. So then the seventh one, the sexual reproduction is by copulation or a male or female, followed by embryological development. It's correct. Now out of this one, which is the right option? Option D. As I said, only first, second, third, fifth and seventh are applicable. Okay, there is a fourth statement, and the sixth statement is not applicable for the characteristic features of the kingdom Animalia. Okay, so this question is related to the topic or the logic distractor. Yes, the characteristic features of the kingdom Animalia. Next one, the principal component of the viruses are, yes, I told you clearly while we are discussing about the viruses, the protein and nucleic acids are the principal components of the viruses, isn't it? While we are discussing about the structure of the viruses also, I told you clearly the proteins and that is the nucleic acids. If they are containing RNA as a nucleic acid, they are called RNA viruses. If they are containing DNA, then DNA viruses. Generally the plant viruses, they are containing single stranded RNA, but in case of the animal viruses, both they are containing DNA as well as the RNA. The next question, an American microbiologist isolated the tobacco mosaic virus in the form of the crystal. So it is very clear, W.M. Stanley is the first person, okay, who isolated the tobacco mosaic viruses in the form of the crystallines, isn't it? Next question. Generally viruses that infect the plants, they have, just now I told, no, the viruses which infect the plant have single stranded RNA, and those infecting animals have double stranded RNA or double stranded DNA. Okay, a taxonomic system based only on triads that reflects the order in time in which branches arose in phylogenetic tree is called cladistics. Okay, remember, so this is one of the definition. While we are discussing about the taxonomic groups, I told you in the beginning also, I hope you remember. So in the next coming classes also, while we are discussing about the kingdom Plantae, I will tell you once again, a taxonomic system based on the traits that reflects the order in a time in which branches arouse the phylogenetic relationship, that is evolutionary relationship characteristics in the form of the tree, is called cladistics. Next one, the group of organisms which are considered as oxygen evolvers. Evolvers means releasings. Okay, see, whatever they have given 5 options. Chemotrophs by the chemical reactions they synthesize their own food, but they don't release oxygen. Chemoheterotrophs are also like that only. Chemolithotroph also like that only. Eukaryotes means they generally utilizes the oxygen, they don't evolve. But out of these 5 options, photoautotrophs are the right option, because during the photosynthesis they releases the oxygen. So that's what they have given the name oxygen evolvers. So which is the right option? Option E is the right option for the question number 33. The prions. Okay, prions, I told you clearly while we were discussing about the definition of the prions. Okay, they are proteinaceous infectious particles lacking nucleic acid, causative agents for CJD, that is a Creutzfeldt-Jakob diseases. Okay. The next question, the cell wall of bacteria possesses, that is nothing but the diaminophilic acid, which along with the other amino acids forms the peptide, will interconnect the glycan part, which is known as, so that is nothing but the murin. Okay, you know very well that what is the definition for the murin. So while we are discussing about the theory part, I told you clearly the murin is nothing but the peptidoglycan. Okay, so that is nothing but the peptidoglycan, also known as the murin, is a polymer consisting of sugars and amino acids that forms a mesh-like structure or mesh-like layer outside the plasma membrane of the most bacteria. Okay, so they are called murin. Okay, so based on presence or absence of the murin only, generally they will decide. Okay, for example, in archaeal cell wall it lacks the murin, but in case of the U bacteria, murin is present. The next question: a unicellular organism often considered as a connecting link between plants and animals. Euglena, because I told you clearly, Euglena, it is comes under the euglenoids. Whenever the sunlight is present, due to the presence of the chlorophyll pigment, it synthesizes their own food, isn't it? Then it shows a characteristic feature just like a plant. But in the absence of the sunlight, it engulfs the smaller than that organism, so it behaves like a heterotroph. That is a animal characteristics. So that's why Euglena is also called the connecting link between plants and animals. That's what it shows both the characteristics of the plant as well as the animal. That's why it is called the connecting link between the plants and animals. The next one, the slime molds are included under Protista. I told you clearly the slime molds which comes under the Protista, isn't it? The next question, the terms such as classification, systematics and taxonomy were given separate meanings by, that is actually while we are discussing in the theory, his name is not came, but remember G. Simpson is the first person who is given the terms such as classification, systematics and taxonomy are given separate meanings. Okay. The next question, chemical constant of the plant such as alkaloids, raphids, crystals, aromatic compounds, etc. are used as a characteristic for which type of the new systematics. So that is nothing but chemotaxonomy. Okay, chemo means chemical. Okay, the chemical compositions which is present in the plants like alkaloids, raphids, crystals, aromatic compounds. Okay, based on this, if they are classified, they are categorized into, so they are nothing but the chemotaxonomy. Okay, which type of the new systematics? That is nothing but the chemotaxonomy. Based on the chemical constituents, the taxonomy is done. So that's why they are called the chemotaxonomy, which comes under the chemotaxonomy. Okay, so this is what with respect to the competitive part. So let it be. So next class we will continue with respect to another new chapter, that is nothing but the kingdom planting. Thank you. Have a nice day.